Hi everybody, welcome to TADTalk. Once again, we're here at TCS and we have another very special guest. I wonder if you can have a clue behind me. There's the big belt.
And he's not a wrestler.
He's not a wrestler.
No.
Gives you a better idea with those glasses and that look. This guy is amazing and has been doing his show in a tribute to Elvis Presley for many years. He's stunning. Check out on this video, ChanceTinder.
Gentlemen, please welcome ChanceTinder and Project Presley. A salute to the kid.
Well, bless my soul, what's wrong with you? I'm all shook up.
Yes, he's stunning, still doing it, and he's amazing. Welcome to the show, our special guest, ChanceTinder. Chance, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. How have you been? How's 2020 been with you? To you?
You know, it's been fantastic. I've been going everywhere, enjoying so much. It's been. I think my ears are going forward from wearing my mask too tight.
Oh, no kidding! It's crazy stuff. Crazy 2020. But yeah, what about, have you been doing anything that you're not normally doing, like household chores?
Yes. The lovely wife has me doing, let me see, taking out the trash. That's new. I normally don't do that.
Okay.
And making bed. So, no, we've got a lot done in the last 7 months. And so we built 3 stories on the house single-handedly by myself. So we've been very busy.
Great. Yeah, if you visit Chance, she has a 7-story home in Scottsdale.
That's right.
Pretty amazing. Well, ChanceTinder's our guest today, but we start off TADTalk, as we always do, with one of Nick's random questions.
Yes. So my random question for you today is, if Doc and Marty showed up in the DeLorean and said, get in, we can go to whatever time you want for one day, which time period would you go and what would you do?
Ooh, I'd have to probably go back to 1973 and go see a Led Zeppelin concert.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Sure. Absolutely.
I did not expect that answer.
In true Elvis fashion.
See, awesome.
I couldn't miss it. I just have to do it. Yeah.
See, I'd be going to somewhere like the Las Vegas Hilton or the 1968 special. Sit in the audience and watch the king at work.
That would be cool. What is that? What is it known as in Sun Studios when those four got together?
The $1 Million Quartet.
$1 Million Quartet. To see that would be pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be, like to be a fly on the wall and check that out.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, Chance, on stage, you're amazing. You're wonderful off stage. You're a wonderful person. But on stage, you go on and you encapsulate, I think, all that was magic about Elvis, which is not always done with Elvis impersonators, and you've done it for many years. How did it start for you? When did you suddenly wake up one morning and go, you know what, I'm going to do this?
Well, to be honest with you, my folks were always big Elvis fans. And I grew up on my parents' music, a lot of Engelbert, Tom Jones, and Wayne Newton, people of that nature. Right. And then when it came to my kind of music, I liked a lot of the rockabilly of the 80s, like Stray Cats, the Blasters, and so forth. So I began drumming in a small rockabilly band in the Los Angeles area. And we used to do like a little set on Elvis, or just the old-time rock and roll. Jerry Lee Lewis and so forth, and Elvis and Chuck Berry. Right. So I'd go up front and do these songs while my keyboardist came over and played the drums. And lo and behold, Bill Medley of the Righteous Brothers walked into this particular club that night, and he essentially kind of discovered me. Wow. Introduced himself to me, and we started talking, and he had a club down the street. He said, would you do your Elvis thing down there? And I said, well, I really don't do it. But what are you talking about? So he had a show called A Really Big Shoe, which was a spin-off of Ed Sullivan. He used to not pronounce show, but shoe. Okay. And so he picked me up as a young Elvis in the 50s, and he just made me an offer I couldn't refuse. The money was great, and I didn't have to be behind the drums, and I got to do what I wanted to do, which was sing, be a front.
When was that? When was that, Chance?
Oh, 1989. I'm starting to age.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, 89's cool. I mean, I got my first break. I think I got my first break in 1889. But, that's cool in LA in 89. Was I in LA in 89? I wasn't. I'd already moved to Seattle by then. We played some of the clubs in LA in 85, 86, 87, around about that time.
Okay, yeah.
But, I mean, I think I know the answer to this, but you never got to saw Elvis live, I assume.
I never did. I almost did once, but he became ill, and my parents couldn't get the tickets. Or actually, they got the tickets, and then they were canceled.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so it's a bummer. I never did.
Yeah. How has it been? I know you've had such an amazing career. You've got some great Vegas stories. And, of course, here in Arizona, in Showstoppers, you are the man, that's for sure. But what is the experience of being able to portray the king?
You know, the experience is it's phenomenal because you meet people that you've never met before, that they have very interesting lives. And for some, their lives really revolved around their love for Elvis. And so when I got to meet so many of these people, I realized even further that, he just crossed, lines. He was just black, white, Chinese, Indian, worldwide. That he touched lives, and so I was really impressed with that. So that's what touched me initially, was that everybody was so Elvis friendly. So even the closet Elvis fans would come out and see our show when normally, they might be a little embarrassed to do so. Yeah,
you really are brilliant at it, Chance. It's you're as soon as you come on the stage, you encapsulate everything. How much do you remember? Have you seen of Elvis back in the day? Let me ask you this question different. In your memories of things you've seen on YouTube and stuff, do you recognize more the bloated white jumpsuit Elvis or the sleek-looking black leather Elvis? What comes to your mind first?
Well, honestly, both have been drilled into my brain, and it's one of those things, I think for my generation at least, a lot of musicians and bands from way back in the day kind of didn't make their way to this generation. Even Sinatra, to a point, most people my age, are aware of him, but don't really know anything about him. But when it comes to the Beatles or Elvis, it's still so much everywhere. Vegas, the first thing you think about when you think of Vegas is, oh, that's where Elvis played. You know, that's Elvis state right there, Elvis City. But you know, even now in Lilo and Stitch, for instance, a Disney movie, a recent one, Elvis was all throughout that movie. So it's still being drilled into the minds of young people. So it's great. He's never going to die, his music.
No.
So
It's amazing,
Yeah.
amazing the career. And then back, if you take it early, the influence of Colonel Tom Parker on his career, and a lot of people, slag it down that he came back from the military and did all those movies. But I loved those movies. I thought they were great.
Yeah.
I did just so.
Yeah,
good.
they were phenomenal. The movies were great because, I mean, you can turn on TV on any given Sunday, and you really can't find a thing to watch. But you'll hit one station that has an Elvis movie on. You know, you're not afraid to put your small kids in front of the TV and watch that. Even today, when you look back on it, you go, "Wow, what a great movie!" Actually, although they're all basically the same, they were just fun movies, and it's just something that's rare today.
Yeah. No, absolutely right. And so you go back to the late 50s, early 60s, when Elvis first came on TV. I don't know if you know this little anecdote, but when he came on, they instructed the cameraman to shoot above his waist because they didn't want his gyrating pelvis on the TV. It was indecent.
Correct. Yeah.
Did you know that?
I didn't.
Yeah, it was deemed indecent to have it on TV.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then
In
Tom
fact,
Jones entered the scene, and yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
incredible.
In fact, he was on Elvis was on the Milton Berle show, and they filmed him from head to toe, and that caused so much of a ruckus. It was, I mean, Milton Berle was saying in an interview that he had tons and tons of hate mail, what he called pan mail, which is all negative mail, and Milton Berle was going through it all, and he said, "Wow, I got all this mail saying how much they hate me for having Elvis on." And so then he phoned up the colonel and he said, "Hey, Colonel Tom Parker, let me tell you something here. I think you got a bestseller on your hands." Because, I mean, all that hate mail actually was saying he was reaching the audiences out there. And, he had something hot on a hot commodity. Make a long story short, then it was Ed Sullivan that said, "I will never have him on my show." And so as Elvis's ratings grew, Ed Sullivan finally had to give in, but the compromise was that they'd film him from the waist up only.
Crazy
Wow.
stuff, isn't it?
That's crazy.
Not so long ago. It's in our lifetime. Well, my lifetime, anyway.
Yeah.
What main character of a fictional movie taught Elvis how to dance?
What,
You know the
I got a
answer to
story
this?
for that one.
Yeah, you know
what
this one?
main character from a fictional movie taught him how to dance?
Yeah. It's not like Elvis watched this movie and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to dance like that." It's like in the movie, this guy taught Elvis how to dance in the movie.
I have no idea.
No? Do you know?
No.
Absolutely. I got a backstory for you, too.
Okay.
Well, who is it? Tell me, who is it, first of all?
Who is
Okay. Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump is correct.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, come on. What's the backstory, Chance?
So I am at home. I get a phone call from Robert Zemeckis. He's the director of the movie. And he says, "We're actually auditioning people to come in and portray Elvis for this next movie featuring Tom Hanks." I had no idea what the movie was, so I decided, well, that's fine. It will be a movie, which would add to my credibility. So I went in and I read for it. You read these things called sides. It's just your piece. So I read for it, and I thought, this is great. So I get the phone call about 2 weeks later. They said, "Mr. Tinder, you've got the piece in the movie." And I thought, yeah, right on. So I was due to play the part of Elvis in Forrest Gump that shows Forrest how to dance. And about a month later, I get a call, and they said, "Sorry, Elvis," or "Sorry, Chance, we won't be using you as Elvis. We're going to do like a digitized thing where Elvis himself is going to actually be the part." And kind of like what they do with Jurassic Park, and they made a dinosaur.
Yeah, the CGI.
Yeah, CGI. So it was very early on. This is like 1991, I think. So I said, okay, fine. I was a little bummed out. But then about a week or so later after that, I got a call to go to China for 4 weeks. So then I was like jazzed again. So I'm going on tour in China And right before I leave, they called me back up and they said, listen, we can't get the rights and everything to the movie to have, use that piece of Elvis footage. So we're back to using a lookalike. Are you still available? And I said, no, I signed a contract. I'm going overseas. Well, lo and behold, they couldn't find the guy they wanted to use. So they used an actor, the back of his head. You never do see Elvis. You just see the back of his head. Then Kurt Russell, the actor, actually did the voiceover. And so that's how it came together.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
That is so cool.
Well, you could have been.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just surprised you said Forrest Gump was fictional. Was it not a real story, that?
Oh, yeah, nonfiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. When we come,
Narrated by Morgan Freeman.
there you go. When we come back after the break, we're going to talk to Chance about the recent career and also about Graceland and stuff like that. We'll be back after the break. Don't go away.
Welcome to TAD Creative Studios, Arizona's state-of-the-art creative facility. We are a turnkey operation, so you're not wasting any time on setup. Simply show up and start rehearsing a recording. We offer our on-the-fly video switching and editing, meaning you can walk away with the edited footage the very same day. We can come to your location, and our setup is ready-made for indoors and outdoors. Our 30-foot LED video wall provides the perfect backdrop for bands and entertainers. The results are amazing. Create your next YouTube presentation on our multifunction interview set. Over 20 years experience creating and producing the most effective scissor reels in the market. TAD Creative Studios. Check it out for yourself.
And we're back with part 2 of TAD Talk with our special guest, ChanceTinder. We talked about Forrest Gump and China. How was the China tour, by the way?
That was phenomenal. Now, I just, I'd been to Asia before. I'd been to Japan, and I thoroughly enjoyed Japan, but they're a different kind of culture, different kind of mindset. So when we went back over to Asia and we did China, they were just much warmer people. And so they really did a lot for me. But we had crowds as large as 8,000 people. And that was for the International Music and Fashion Festival in Dalian, China, where we had a representative of America that would be Elvis musically. And then they had designers from the U.S. that did all the fashion aspect. So then they had this 4-day festival, and it was just incredible, really incredible.
Interesting. Yeah, we love Asia. One of our favorite places to go is Japan. Actually, we've been there just recently, and it's great. Have you been to Graceland?
I have 4 times.
Yeah.
So I love it. The first time was really kind of neat because it hadn't been so, what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't so corporated. It wasn't really run by the corporations entirely. So it had a much more family feel to it.
Okay.
And when it's your first time going, you have these great expectations. You think you're going to see this huge mansion. But when we really got inside, you realized it was more of a family home. It looked great. It looked like a mansion on the outside, but it was a home on the inside.
Yeah.
Which I was really impressed with. It was much smaller than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
But
I went last year for my 60th, and it was tremendous time.
What was what was your opinion of the jungle room? First time you walked in there?
I'd seen pictures before, and then when I saw it in person, I thought, yeah, this would be a cool place to actually set up the band and rehearse in here,
Yeah.
The acoustics were great. In fact, I know he recorded in there. But the jungle room, yeah, quite gaudy and everything, but I thought, hey, if you want to escape Memphis and go to Hawaii, just go to your jungle room den,
No kidding.
So cool. And what was that other room? Was it his pool room, his snooker room that was just completely lined with fabric all the way around? What room was that?
Yeah. Hey, I was the pool room.
That was a pool room?
So yeah, I forget how many yards, but it was like 1,000 yards of material.
Oh.
Where they just did that lacing through it, and there was a whole room with material, huh?
Crazy. Have you not, in the lockdown and doing all this work at home, have you not been tempted to turn one of the rooms into a jungle room?
Well, you should see my living room now. The wife is kind of a little upset, but I got the gold records everywhere, and I got all the jumpsuits hanging on the wall. This is the only empty space I could find for today.
So here's a question for you, and one for you as well, Chance. I always like questions that are very difficult to answer. You can only listen to one Elvis Presley song from now till the end of time. You can only pick one. Which Elvis Presley song are you going to listen to?
Well, I'm telling you, it's not Blue Christmas.
It's not Blue Christmas.
It's not Blue Christmas.
One Elvis tune. One Elvis song. What is it going to be?
Boy, that's a tough one.
It
I
is.
know. Can only pick one. All those songs to choose from, you can only pick one. Let me do this. Pick two. One slow one and one fast one.
Oh, even better. Easy, easy. For those two, the ballad would be Can't Help Falling in Love with You. And the fast one would be Suspicious Minds.
Yeah, Caught in a Trap.
Yep.
I'm going to say Heartbreak Hotel
Okay.
for the slow one. I know you don't like that song, but I love that
Well,
song.
dude, it's not really slowish. I guess it's slow.
What? Of course it's slow.
Sing it.
Since my baby left
Sing
me.
it like Elvis.
I cannot. Not in front of Chance. And then
I have a cold today. Hold on. I can't sing it.
the fast one, it's still between two, but I'm going to go with Burnin' Love.
Lord Almighty.
Yeah. Love that song.
See, I remember that in Suspicious Minds coming out. Yeah, so I'm going to pick two, okay? And you're not going to like either one of them. One of them's a slow one, and one of them's kind of a slow one, but not really. So my slow one is Crying in the Chapel.
Oh, yeah.
You saw me crying in the chapel.
Sing it like Elvis.
You saw me.
What was that?
I don't know.
You saw me.
It's because it reminds me of my granddad. Just takes me back to then. So Crying in the Chapel, and the other one is not really a fast one, but it's Just Can't Help Believing.
Oh, yes.
Well,
absolutely.
I just can't help believing. Do you know it?
Yeah.
But, it's a great song.
Not as well as the
See,
others, but I do know it, yeah.
I'm sorry?
That's a BJ Thomas tune, actually.
That's right, yeah. Such a good song, yeah. I love
Elvis knocked it out of the ballpark, though.
Oh,
he really did. Yeah.
For more than just a day. Yeah.
I like Little Less Conversation and obviously Viva Las Vegas and just there's so many incredible songs. Timeless.
There was a period of Elvis, I think it was the early 70s, when he had songs like Just Can't Help Believing and Way Down. Do you remember that one? Way Down.
Yes.
When that was I loved that era. I felt that he was coming out of a little funk, and he had some great stuff at that time.
You're the devil in disguise.
Yeah. That was earlier, but that was.
I know, I love that song though.
Great stuff. He's the.
Oh, yeah. Way Down is one of them that we do in our show.
Yeah.
So, we introduced it coincidentally, as the last number one song of Elvis's career before his passing, and that he recorded it in the Jungle Room.
Did he really?
Yeah.
So I know you do the.
he was.
I know you sing the lead chorus, but who sings the Way On Down? Who sings that bit?
J.D. Sumner of the Stamps Quartet, and he holds the world's record for the lowest bass voice ever. Really? And I forget how many he goes off the low end of the keyboard, but he goes off the low end of the keyboard.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
he holds the world record to this day.
Yeah.
In fact, it was him and what's his name from the Oak Ridge Boys that do the deep voice. But yeah, they both are Elvis's background bass singers.
Okay.
That's awesome.
The guy that goes the bop a mow mow. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Great stuff.
You know, it's unfortunate because the just recently, actually, not too long ago, this year, this crazy year, sad year, I think it was Elvis's grandson passed, didn't he?
Oh, I did see that. Yeah. I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lisa Marie's son, I think it was.
I think it was. Yeah, he just recently passed away.
Yeah.
It looked just like him.
Yeah. What a shame, because I mean, you hate of hearing people that deal with depression or anxiety and things of that nature, and they end up taking their lives,
Yeah.
But I can only imagine maybe he went through. I can't, I should say, imagine what he went through. And I know he tried to stay out of the spotlight. But yeah, when you look so close to somebody so famous, and he looked just so much like his grandfather, that I think maybe that may have affected his mindset a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Such a shame.
Hey, Chance, it's 2020. Nobody's singing at all. We're hopefully coming back next year. But just go back over your entire career, your Elvis career from '89. Pick one moment. Just pick one moment for us. Not maybe something you missed particularly because of 2020, but one moment in your career you can look back on and say, you know what, that was the pinnacle. That was the highlight for me.
Oh, I have so many. Working in Las Vegas one time was one, and having a longevity is another. But I'd have to say that when I first started really getting into business and living in Southern California, I would be at the beach and I would stick my toes in the water, and then just a few short years later, I was all the way across the Pacific in Asia with my feet in the water on the opposite side. So for me, that was, without Elvis and without the entertainment career, I don't think I would have ever enjoyed the opportunities of traveling worldwide. Yeah. So to say at a young age, like 25, I was able to travel and touch both shores, was really a highlight for me.
Good for you. Well, you're so good at what you do. We can't wait for this mess to be over so we can be a part of getting you back out on that stage and giving people what they love so much, especially those Elvis fans. They love it. This has been a great show, Chance, and we appreciate you being on it. We have a question that we ask every guest on TADTalk, and I'm going to ask it of you now. It's kind of a fantasy question. If you could spend the next hour next 60 minutes with any two people. Now, these could be people you've known, dead or alive, family or lost loved ones, or historical figures or celebrities, anyone, and then go somewhere, anywhere in the world with them. Who would you like to spend the next hour with? Where are you going to go? And what are you going to talk about?
So we're talking about two, correct?
Yeah.
So the first one would be obviously my father, and he passed away about 7 years ago.
Okay.
So if I can have that time with him again, I think I'd just love to be in his backyard with him, sitting there having a lemonade, as we used to do, and just talking for the hour, just like what we used to do. And then the second one would be, I don't want to, I know how the world is today, but I'm just want to admit that I'm a Christian. So if I had the opportunity to sit with an hour with Jesus and maybe walk the Holy Land and talk about things, even ask questions such as, since you know everything, what happened to the dinosaurs, for instance, or, whatever, just have those kind of inquisitive thoughts that you have when you're laying there late at night, kind of pondering things, asking those pondering questions. So those would be my two.
Good for you. We've had many people said Jesus Christ and asked the questions and various philosophical questions and very simple questions as well. Yeah, it's always great to have see all the difference in answers. Chance, thanks so much for being on the show. It's been great having you on. I hope you and your beautiful bride are keeping safe and healthy through this crazy year.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
You too, and to you. Yeah. And you as well, your family and Nick and the whole TAD family. You guys simply amaze me. You're always on top of things. You're really go-getters, and you're ahead of the curve more than anybody who's out there right now, and forever will ever be. So we really appreciate it.
Well, we're glad you're a part of our family too, Chad. Onwards. Did I say Chad?
You said Chad.
Did I say Chad? I meant Chance. I don't know why I said Chad. Well, I do know why I said Chad. It's because I'm 61. I'm going grey. Where's my hair? It's here. And that stuff's going to happen. But Chance, we're glad you're a part of the TAD family. To everyone watching the show today, thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back with another episode of TAD Talk next week. We'll see you then. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.